So we're back at my brother's cabin this week. So last week we had a big goal to get my brother's house to the point where we could start putting down flooring, and it was a real busy week. A lot happened. But there's one more thing we need to do before we can actually start laying the flooring. Is my brother has a wood stove in the corner, and he wants to raise it so it's a little bit higher when you're loading the wood stove, so you don't have to bend over when you're loading it with firewood. And also they have small children, toddlers and a newborn on the way, and if we can raise that wood stove up just a little bit, it might be a little safer and just be a little bit of a barrier to keep a toddler from touching it, and also it'd be a nice backing to put a baby gate around.
So obviously we're not going for perfect here, but we're gonna just get it roughed.
We're gonna box it out before we do the flooring, and then after we do the flooring, frame it up, plywood it, Durock it, tile it, and then we'll be able to put the wood stove back in place and put a fire back in, and it'll be a really nice addition to this house. So the flooring my brother chose is a laminate, and it's actually called Newport Pine by Pergo, and it's got a lot of gray neutral tones to it, but it's still it's not too trendy. So I really like it. It's always hard when you work with this much wood as in a log cabin. It's nice to bring a different pattern and texture into the floor, because then it's easy to tie in different colors and different wood tones into the space. So it's just snaps and locks in place. We've got to put an underlayment down first, and then we can get started on actually laying this. We'll see how it looks.
Getting started on flooring is going to be, there's a lot of thinking that's going to have to take place. As you can see, it's not like your typical house where you have walls and you can run the flooring up to it. These logs, they taper, and so one side might be a big 12-inch log and the other side might be a 10-inch log, or it might even be a 16. So these vary, and so it's going to be really hard to get this flooring in here and then trim over it to where you still have a floating floor, but it looks nice, you know what I mean? It's not something that's just pieced together. So we're figuring out how to do that today.
So we're getting started with putting the underlayment down, and we're using this fan fold stuff, and the guys seem to really like it. Okay, so what we're gonna do, since that wall is not even, we're gonna lay out a full row and then scribe it, cut it, and then tuck it under.
Oh, look at that.
That stuff is so beautiful.
Get your egg nail down.
So pretty.
So we could just throw this in here, but then it may be at an angle over there in the kitchen. We're trying to square everything in the kitchen and go with it, and then throw our discrepancies underneath the logs, basically hiding that. So we snapped the line here to stay centered with the cabinets and everything over there, and then we're going to go ahead and take a measurement from here to there, figure out that measurement, mark it there, chalk a line, and rip all of these to start. So one thing we want to do when we go ahead and slide this first piece of flooring in is we got a door here, so we want to trim out the trim around the door itself. So we just need to go ahead and mark a line. That line's a little bit taller than that, so I can cut it out with a multi-tool. So there you can see that come out real nice, and then you'll be able to apply the flooring in like that.
That looks really good.
That's all you got.
So it's all tapered all the way down.
We got the first row set on the wall, and now we can go to town and run the flooring. We're going to put it right on the wall.
How many times have you moved this?
Probably half a dozen. I called this morning. He said, where do you want this thing to end up? Well, right there. Actually good. One time move right now.
Last time moving it.
Yep.
So nice out. So like Alaska, it's really hard for several months, but come March and that sun comes out, it's warm. This is what we live here for. So there's one other little floor in this place we wanted to take care of. The loft upstairs has just like I think it's a 1 by 10 ton groove floor, just pine boards, and it's in really bad shape. It's stained really bad. It's got a lot of splinters. So Jacob, instead of ripping it out, which would be really a pain, Jacob suggested we just sand it and then put some poly over it, and so we're gonna get it sanded.
Yep.
Flooring turned out really good. A couple coats of poly on it, and I really like it. It's got a rusted look to it. It's a little bit more saturated than I was expecting, but I mean, this is gonna have big rugs on it, and I think it's really good.
I think it looks really good. It's a lot better than what it was. It's actually usable.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we gotta still trim it out, but I mean, think about it. They can put some beds up here. They can have company, and
Yeah, I really like it. And then these doors turned out really good. They're basically just hide like a little storage area back there. So you don't have like a real low point in the eaves. And then, you know, if a ball rolls back there, you gotta crawl on your belly and get back in there. Or just cleaning in general. So this really added to the usability of this room. I remember coming here pre-remodel, and it was like a cave in here. You would never want to come up here. And now it's really a usable space. So
yeah, it's really cool.
the guys did a really good job.
Yeah, I'm staggering the seams, and I'm also, like, this is white, so I'm going more dark now. So kind of like color selection, like this is dark, so I'll have to go more white here.
I'm excited.
And it just makes it nice and simple to slide it in there.
So Michael went to lunch yesterday and he hasn't come back. So he was going to start with the glow plugs on his truck and just go from there. Poor Micah. Yeah, he's got to fix his truck. We might have to go give him a hand or something. It's just not the same. There's no coffee brewing constantly. He is like an IV to the coffee pot.
He does.
Awkward. What's wrong with you?
That's something that's big.
We got all the laminate flooring done in the main room, and as a bonus, we also got the floor upstairs sanded and finished. And you know, having the floor done is a big step because you can start moving things in, and the finished space starts to take place. So I'm already starting to think about interior furnishings.
That's good.
Yeah. So.
No, it actually came out really nice. This flooring made the place look like really like finished, and it's really making the whole place come together.
So exciting step next week, we're either going to tackle the handrail on these stairs or the tile work that goes on the fireplace in the entryway. So you'll have to catch us next week to see what we're up to.
Yeah, stay tuned next Monday.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Can you bring in a little bit of that fireplace tile, one box, and one box of that flooring tile, so I can show in that video like what we're gonna do with the fireplace. A little nervous about the flooring because I went with a really dark gray. It's almost a charcoal. We'll see. Only way to find out is to hold it up. I actually think that's going to look really amazing. Oh my gosh, I'm in love. Yeah, that's going to be super good. You like it? Grace picked it out.
It'll be pretty sweet.
You know there's a point where we're going to have to start firing her, paying her.
All right, Grace. Let's make lunch.
No, to pick up. Grace picked out the floor. We went down the aisle and I was like, which one? She's like, that one. Now can we go look at the wall stickies? That's literally.
That's a random one.
Yeah, she did.
Did you have the wall stickies?
You know, like the peel and stick wall decorations.
Oh,
I'm like,
she was just trying to get you rolling.
yeah. Okay, so this is the option that we picked out for the front of the fireplace build-up, for the front of the wood stove build-up. Let's see. There wasn't a lot of selection, so. Oh, that's gonna be pretty.
We'll be all right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so that'll come up 3 levels,
2 or 3, yeah.
and then, ow, on top we'll have that.
Sets of wolf tracks here. I think by the numbers I can count there was 5 of them in this pack. Pretty cool. They were here last night.